Agreed. Should we talk
All right.
about Diamond League coming up? Oh no, one more
Well,
race. Michael Norman.
yeah, so Michael Norman ran in Italy as well, 997. So he ended the year with 3 sub-10s in a row here, and he beat Bracy, beat Baker, beat Gatlin. I don't know if this is enough to make him have a tough decision about what to do next year. And it's a bummer that he's shutting down a season. I would like to see him try to run another quarter now that he's reeled off 3 sub-10s in the 100. But he's right in that weird middle ground, I feel like, Gordon, right? He's good enough. He's done enough in the 100 where you'd be curious about him in that event and the 200. And then he's also struggled enough in the 400 to where, like, do you really want to stick with the 400? Do you want to explore what else is going on out there? He's firmly in that gray area, I think.
Yeah, I think the question for him, like, I wonder how much of an influence what Fred Curley has done is going to impact him at all. Because for him seeing his fellow competitor just go from a great 400-meter runner to like a dominant 1-2 guy in an Olympic year.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he's thinking like, hey, I can do that, or maybe Fred is showing, hey, it's possible to like get into that realm. You don't have to be a 60-meter, 100-meter guy from age 16 in order to become a great 100-meter runner. It is possible late in a career or mid-career to kind of transition to a different event if you have that raw talent. And Norman has the raw talent. He's run 43 seconds. He's run 9.8 in a race. So it's not like it's impossible to do these things. I think the difference between him and Fred is Fred obviously has gone all in on it, right? He started at the beginning of the season going all in on the 1 and the 2, whereas Norman hasn't really gone all in at all in the 100 or the 200. It's kind of just been like a half measure, like, oh, let's dip my feet in after the Olympics, see what I can do.
Yeah.
But hey, it would be interesting if he decides to like pull the trigger and be like, I'm out of the 400 and go all in on attempting to get in the 1 or the 200.
The 2 is the most intriguing, don't you think? Do you agree with me? The 2 is the most interesting prospect here.
Yeah, I feel like his 200 would be his most likely pathway to success on the global level. Because he has, 19.7 is a no joke time. He ran in 2019, and he's beaten Noah Lyles head to head in a 200. So, and if Noah Lyles is like the standard, right? He's a 19.5 guy. So if you're in the category with Noah, you're going to be in the category of potential medaling, So
I think if the 200 for the U.S. looked like the 400 does for the U.S. in terms of competition, I think it would be a no-brainer for him to put his focus there. But the problem is the 200 is so good with Lyles, Curley, Bednarik, Knighton that it makes qualifying really difficult. Now they'll have an extra spot next year because Noah's got the bye, so he just need to figure out a way to get into that group. And then internationally, you would throw in DeGrasse there, but I'm interested how he can have pretty solid performances across the board in the 100, like outperform what we thought he was capable of and beat some really quality people, and then still struggle in the quarter. And maybe it's just because, hey, post Olympics, it's harder to get a gauge on things. And yeah, he didn't run well in the Olympics in the 400, but he still was 5th in the world, and maybe 5th in the world would be his ceiling in the 100 too. Maybe we're just overrating these 100-meter performances because we're just thinking about what's possible. Oh, and this is only his 3rd race doing it, his 4th race doing it. Look at how much better he could get. Maybe he's kind of set in that spot, but it is interesting both with him and Curley, just how smooth the transition felt. And they're both, and I get why they didn't do it really in college, because you're focused on team points and stuff, but it is interesting that you become a pro and you're like, all right, I'm gonna do another event now. Like, I'm really gonna drill down. And then you had all these years in college to try to experiment, and it was always just like 4x4, 400, 200, 4x4, 400, 200.
I have a question for you.
Did Michael Norman run at 100 at USC? That might be a dumb
I don't
question.
know. I know he ran the 100 in high school. His first race as a college
Yeah.
guy in indoor was a 200, but I'm not sure if he ran 100. He might
There's
have run
nothing
a
on his.
one. No, he
There's
didn't.
nothing on his. No, not on his T first. He didn't run a. He ran a 4x1 leg a couple times. That was it.